Yo, what's up, squad? Welcome back to part 2 of the demo drop. Last time we had some mad demos. Will this week's beat them? Let's find out. We're going to jump in straight with Shift and Palm. Remember, this is a demo drop. Feedback, detailed feedback, I would say. If you do want detailed written feedback on your tracks, you can join the $15 tier on Patreon. I like to do these every now and again because sometimes I get bored of typing. These are fun, man. It gives people a chance to get their music played as well. Bit of promotion, and hopefully some collabs and stuff can happen between you guys from this. But yeah, the demos were great last time, and I am looking for new talents for the new label. I am always looking to promote new talents, especially within the rave room kind of sound. So hopefully there's some bombs in this as well. The reason I don't do this for just everybody, I do keep it for patrons only, because if it was just everybody, this page would just be full. And I just wouldn't have the time to do it, because I do have to make music as well. I am an artist at the same time as this, so I wanted to just also give back to my Patreon fam. These guys supported me through the hardest times. So big love to them. Let's jump into Shift and Palm and Die Hearts ID. I love this first part, the vocoder and stuff, but that leads very sharp on the ears. It's quite hard to listen to. I would definitely duck some high EQ off from there. I'd cut some of the high EQ. Sorry, it's very sharp. Nice switch. Solid big room track, man. I love the two different drops. I was worried it was going to go with this again. This one, the old Kashmir style, I appreciate the style. I think it's pretty cool. The bass line's too boring though. It's just a sub bass and a kick. You need some aggressive bass line, maybe even an offbeat bass, just something which carries the mid frequencies. Right now, it's all I can hear is a sub, a bass, and a kick. You know, it just feels too boring and too plain. Especially when it comes to labels, they're gonna be like, "Yo, where's your sound design, bro?" And I think that's where you're gonna improve it in the mid bass section. The lead itself, not bad. I like the click on it. You've done well with the click. Is it many layers? It sounds like it's quite a lot of layers and it hasn't been gelled together correctly. So what I would be doing is EQing every layer individually. One should carry the highs, you know, duck the highs from the next one. It should all fit like a puzzle, right? But the overall vibe's cool. I just want to see So I think you need to dip in this region. Seems around 13k you've got a massive boost in it. It's horrible to listen to, so I would do a little dip there. And then it'll fit with the rest of your track as well. So I would fix that up. I think the vocal, the breakdown, as I said, the vocoing was sick, man. I love this part as well, but then when that big lead comes in, it's just like, bro, I can't hear anymore. It's a bit squeaky, but great work on this. Especially the second drop, I like this. The lead sounds a bit mono though. Is the lead, have you done any stereo imaging on the lead? Let me know in Discord, because it sounds kind of mono-ish. You expect it to be like really wide and full. So stylistic wise, yeah, no comments. I would just say EQ wise, be careful on that lead there. Try and blend your other drop lead layers in as well. But apart from that, man, solid big room track. You can pat yourself on the back for that one. Next we have Lose It, which is a rave room demo. He made this specifically just for this demo drop. Let's check it out. Get ready when it goes stupid, go dumb, not lose it, not lose it, not lose it, not lose it. Get ready when it goes stupid, not lose it. Get ready when it goes stupid, not lose it. Get ready when it goes stupid. Not lose it, lose it. Everybody fucking jump. Respect everybody doing these different drops, man. It just keeps it so interesting. I really like that. So there's a few points in this one. I think overall energy's good, but it's production wise, it's not quite there yet. Things I would personally do to improve this. Let me start here. I like this part. I think you've got everything nailed in this part. Kick feels very flat. It sounds like, let's put this in a way that people don't understand. So like this kick sounds like a Toyota Yaris when it should be like a Lamborghini. It's like a piece of shit. No offense if anyone drives a Toyota Yaris, but I mean like Toyota Yaris from like 1999 or whatever, with 300,000 kilometers on the mileage. But yeah, it just sounds just too basic, you know. All the other sounds are good. The hardstyle kick's really nice, that layered hardstyle kick, and your offbeat is really cool as well. But the kick itself, the kick itself is just flat, man. It just ruins the track, and you can see by the waveform, it's not like nice and blocky and sharp. So I would just try and get a punchier kick. EDM punch kick from Kashmir would probably work here. The melody is so cheesy, but I like it, man. It's like a real old school kind of Melbourne bounce melody. Something like this. I love this fill. Dope. But here, I think you need to end it on the root note. So it goes. It needs to go. So whatever the root note is of your track, I can't tell. But whatever it is, end it on that. It's just a more natural way to end it, you know. But I think that's great so far. This part just sounds like you haven't finished it yet. It's just missing so much. If it was me, I'd be putting those war horns in there. I'd be putting some ambience effects in there, so like little drone noises. Go through the Kashmir stuff and just go in the stuff that you would never use normally. So drones, airy sounds, the beds and stuff like that, and just get them involved and just make an atmospheric part here. Also, I'd be bringing the sub bass in gradually, so start the automation volume wise there and end it here. Everybody fucking jump! I like the kick more here. It sounds like the kick and bass are just upgraded from this. So I'm curious to know what you did here, what the difference was. But this drop slams. This is like a Ford Focus kick, so it's a slight improvement, but it's still not a Lamborghini. I much prefer this lead as well. It's even more like that Timmy Trumpet Freaks-ish style. It's that real cheesy but works kind of melody lead, and lead. Sorry. Yeah, solid, man. This is more of a rave room style track. You know, you've got that increased BPM, that increased energy. Yeah, not much more I could say. I just think lead wise, feels like it'd have a little bit more processing to it, or maybe even add something that gives it a transient click. So maybe add a pluck. I like to add the epic pluck, you know, the bump 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 bump. This one, I like to add that to my leads because it's so thick, so it provides a nice click and power to the lead as well, like fills it up. So I think if you can find a clicky layer and a more punchy kick, you should be golden, man. This is Killzone Mastered V6. Mastered. I can tell it's mastered by the fucking size of it. We have another Saber's Apprentice in the building. So the Sabres Masterclass had a discount recently, I assume. Nah, it's honestly, you sound like Sabre's son. Um, it's a good track, right? Let's start with the overall track. It's a very solid track. You can tell you're a good producer and you've been doing it a long time. I love the theme. Themed breaks are what sells in big room nowadays. If you have something really cool about a breakdown, check the Sabres track with ANG. Is it Sabres with ANG? It's called it's like a baseball theme, home run or something like that. It's so unique, and that's what sells, especially in big room, because big room is a commercial, cheesy genre, right? No matter how you look at it, it is. So these kind of breaks work really well, and I love what you did here, man. Um, let's go through because there's a lot of things here. Build up, obviously, yeah, it's solid. You've seen the Sabres tutorial. Kick and bass aren't doing it for me. The bass line is cool. It's odd. It's like whoa, whoa, whoa. I love that though, but the kick itself, I'm just not really feeling it. It doesn't work well with the sub. I would just try and loads of different kicks, and when one sounds good, then start doing your processing, adding your top kick and stuff like that. But I think you can find a better one for this actual bass itself. Cool melody though. Big fan of this pluck sound, man. Really cool. I think that delay that you've got, it just adds too much noise to the mix. Like, you've got a lot of noise in this mix down. I would focus on the mix down. Like, bounce this out to stems and just each bit go through. So have your kick with your lead. Does it sound clean? Move on to the next step. Bring the next element in. Cool, Phil. Again, this lead sounds like it's 4 or 5 different layers and they just haven't been mixed well enough together. So I would mix them all differently. Let me know in Discord, again, with this one, like, what was your lead processing? Like, how many layers is there and stuff? I might have got the wrong end of the stick, but it does sound to me like you've got, like, more than 2 layers and it's just not really gelled together. Breakdown, as I said, was really, really good, man. Really good. It's got a theme, right? And this lead, by the way, is like 10 out of 10. Your lead in the drop is like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I would be using this break lead because it's so thick and so nice. This is like the Armin van Buuren style lead, whereas in the drop, it's just a big room lead. The one that comes in here. This melody, this in the background, I don't know if it's a loop or something, but if it's you've done it yourself, man, use it in the drop. I can hear a lead and a pluck. I think the pluck has too much high end in it. Too many high frequencies because your lead has high frequencies, so they're both just fighting for the high frequencies basically. So just cut out some of the high frequencies from one of those sounds, and it should sound a lot cleaner. If you are wanting to get this signed to a top label, I don't think you will sign this to a top label because it's too much like the Sabres sound. I would try, just for future tracks, keep this vibe, but just try and make a different bass line. This is a bad example, but even a slap house bass line, suddenly labels are like, oh, something different. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but at least it's different. But it's one of those things where you would struggle to get this signed on a label like Revealed or Rave Culture because they have Sabres for this sound, so they don't need anyone else. But yeah, great work. Your production quality is high, but now maybe focus on trying to get your style to like stand out. Now this is Kazre with Fresh. I know this vocal sample. Unfortunately, that track won't be released, I don't think, but it works really well. It's just good. I love it, man. I love it. So fresh, Gucci Louis on my back and my feet. So fresh, Gucci Louis on my back and my feet. So Gucci Louis on my back and my feet. So fresh, Gucci Louis on my back and my feet. So fresh, 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 and my feet. So. So on my back and my feet. So this is well out of key. So fresh, Gucci Louis on. So. Right, so drop wise, I like it. I like the drop. The whole energy is good, so we could tick that off the list. The production level isn't quite as high as some of the other ones, so I will give you some tips on how to improve that, how I would improve that. This part's really good, man. No comment. So the bass line, you've got the actual mid bass line in the background, you know, it's not the sub bass, but it's on top of the sub. That's sick, man. Really nice. And the thing is, again, it's the kick is just flat. It's like this one's like a Fiat Punto. Like, for example, you know, my track with Reese Lowe, Meant to Be, that was on Musical Freedom. The kick and the drop is from him. And that is like so sharp, man. Like, it's when you play that live, like you could just feel it through the speakers. With this one, it's just gonna be, you're not gonna feel the same thing. And because we make festival music, you want it to sound good on these big speakers, right? So I would just maybe take a look at trying to find the different kicks and just keep dragging them in, man, until you find one that works with your sub. Great drums though. I like the lead. I will say I like the lead. I like that you've added a pluck to it, which gives it a little bit more of a transient click as well. Love that. What I would do is just bring the volume of the lead down a tiny bit. Especially if you're going to use this kick, because the lead just drowns out the kick drum. And the kick is what drives the energy and the rhythm in the song. So the switch is too quiet, man. You need it to be really in your face. You want people to know that there's a big dirty switch coming. This bit's cool, really fresh. I like the hardstyle kick too. But this bit ruins the song for me. Just completely out of key. The melody's not really that catchy either. Just leave it out, in my opinion. You could have a tight sidechain as well. I think it sounds like there's no sidechain. What I'd like to do is on Kickstart, I would use the let me just get it up for you. Where's Kickstart? So what I would do is use the high chain. As you can see, it's a very short one. It's good for melodies where you have it directly on the kick quite a lot. So I would use that sidechain for this track. Let's take it off the master though. Yeah, I would definitely use that sidechain. But again, it's kind of fresh. You were right with the song title. It's a decent one, man. I would just work on those bits that I said, basically. but it's almost finished in my opinion. This is Mab ID. It's called ID, but it's got a name, so it's ID Heart for some reason. I almost cried there, bro. This is a nice progressive track, man. With this one, I have a lot of comments regarding the actual production. So let's check the second break and second drop. So I like the melody. The chords are really strong. The melody at times could be a little bit more catchy, more simple. It just feels like the notes are hitting places where you don't expect. And the good thing about progressive melodies is you can kind of guess which notes are coming next, because it's just a natural way to move the melody throughout the piano roll kind of thing, right? So melody, you know, it's good. Small improvements on the melody, but I think the overall effort of the song was really good. What I would say is the thing that is kind of letting the song down right now is the bass line. Because this lead's nice. It sounds like you've added like a string, a violin or something on top of the lead. It does sound like it stands out. The kick's nice as well, and I think the sub's alright, but you don't really have a nice bass in there. If you listen in speakers, go and listen to a Mance song or Jack and Harry or someone like that, and listen to it compared to yours. With their tracks, it sounds full. There's no gaps in the mix, whereas in this one, I can identify like a gap in the middle here. So the chords, I would bring the volume of the chords and pads down a little bit so your lead can really come through and it really shine through. I promise not to hold me now. I like the vocal. I think it could be a bit louder with a little bit more high end. Try use the Cashmere plugin on this, man. I use the Cashmere plugin for vocals, and it works really well. Sick guitar. You need those big white noise that like Mance uses, you know, it's like every now and again, you know, just went dun 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 every like 2 bars kind of thing, just to keep that energy up. Because I assume you would like to sign this to somewhere like Revealed, right? But I think with Revealed, it needs that more complete production and a little bit extra energy. So the white noise and also working on the mix of all the elements could definitely help. But using a reference track is a great thing. I would definitely use a Mance track as a reference, because he's been killing the progressive house stuff for a long time. Now we jump on, but great work, by the way. Nice to hear something different as well. Pabo X Coav, this is Asteroids. So I've heard this before, right? Coav sent me this and I gave him like detailed feedback on it. This is a solid track, man. Like you can tell by the waveform, this is a chunky boy. This is a fat track, but it's a very good big room track, man. The thing is, this drop, it's cool, but it's nothing compared to this. This is so much better sound design wise. I know you want to be creative, right? And have 2 different drop leads. Just because, you know, rave culture guys have done it. But I think you should be using the pluck in both of the drops. This is such a cool... and like the thing is, plucks were done every single week by producers, right? These pluck drops. People don't do them anymore. So you can literally allow yourself to stand out from the crowd by using them again, right? And you've done it so well. I think you should be using that in both the drops because it sounds sick, man. I've told you this on the feedback that I love the pluck sound. Because every demo I hear is this. Same thing. The Sabres 7, 8, 9, 10 sample pack and masterclass. Obviously a big sale on because everybody's doing it. So when I hear a pluck, I think the same way as a label A&R, you know. I hear lots of demos because I give you guys feedback and stuff, right? So when I hear something different, it makes me more interested. When I heard the pluck, I was interested. But a label A&R is just going to go... Sabres skip, you know? And that's... It sounds harsh, but that's exactly what happens. However, if this was the drop... Suddenly they're looking around the room like, we haven't had one of these tracks for a while. Yeah, stick them on the label, you know? That's the way it goes in this industry. People skip straight to this. So stop thinking about like how being so creative, right? This pluck is dope. And this first lead is it's good, but it's just good in my opinion. Great build up though. Love the vocal. This is such a full song. You've got so much going on, ambience. You've got drums. This is a very, very high level produced track. This part is sick. I love this this part where it's like the headhunt. I said that this last week. It's like the Headhunters kind of thing, where you like start the glide on a really low octave. It sounds so good, man. It's so fresh. And this part, perfect, man. Really great work on this part. Vocal could be a little bit louder, especially here. That vocal could be also louder, but yeah, I was disappointed it goes back into that lead. But yeah, that pluck needs to be the main focus of the track, in my opinion, because right now you're in a pool with everybody else that wants to sound like Sabres. When you just make the pluck, you take yourself away from that, just like I did with my sound. You know, Maddox, me, Sabres, you know, Kevu, we all sounded the same, and it was none of our fault. It's just we liked the same style and we all would make similar. So Maddox did the same thing. He took himself out of that and put himself in his own lane. I'm trying to do that myself, because you want to stand out. You don't want to be just another one of whoever, you know. And I think that's what you could do to allow yourself to stand out. Like, this track's more rave culture than rave room, I would say. So I wouldn't really sign it because, yeah, it is too big room. But like, I've told you guys to send me more stuff, especially if you're going to make more pluck tracks. But yeah, great work on it, man. Really solid track. I'm sure a decent sized label will pick that one up for sure. Let's jump into Avicii Levels, RIP. I think this is from Fugax, right? Is it Fugax or something like that? I don't know if I've pronounced it or butchered it. But yeah, solid rave room edit, remix, bootleg, whatever you want to call it. There's a few volume issues for me. It's just simple mixing stuff, like literally turn the volume down to this, turn the volume down to this. It's something that took me a long time to understand. You know, when I first started out, it was hard to understand what things should be louder than others, you know. But we start with this. I like the intro. I like the transition as well, man. I wouldn't use the white noise here. I know you've gone for a white noise, but I think if you make it really nice and clean. Bring the white noise in this part maybe. Breakdown's good. I think this sound, you can see it's way too loud. Bring the vocals a little bit louder as well. I think you need the sub bass in here. Just like you've got here. I think you need it here as well with the festival edit. You don't want any like dead energy sections. You want the sub bass to be there, especially in a climax type thing like that. This part is a bit confusing because you've got a melody which doesn't follow the same rhythm as the original levels. I would be using the same pattern as levels, dun, 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 something like that. You keep the same rhythm but just change the notes to make it your own, because I guess that's what you want to do. And the lead is too loud here. It's got way too much low end in it still. So what I would do is draw an EQ like so. Let's get the old EQ up. So I'd be doing this with a low cut. And what I'd do is I'd automate this so it would go, so as the build comes. I'd be doing that with the EQ, with the automation, so it just, the lead comes in more natural. This part's too dead energy wise. I think you need like a boom, 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 something like this. Just sample that if you want. Boom, boom. I like the bass line and the kick. Great work. The kick's really punchy. The only thing that gets me is the lead. It just could be better, bro. Get yourself in the old Nexus packs. The new one, for example, solid, man. You can't go wrong with the Nexus sounds. It's where I get mine from. I ain't no sound designer, so I just think the lead could be a bit better, bro, and it can just stand out more. But because it's a bootleg, it doesn't have to be the most unique lead, because the bootleg has the point of being supported in people's sets, and this will get a crowd going, right? But for a label release, it just has to be next level, because the label has to have something which makes you stand out from the rest, right? But for a bootleg, I think you can get away with it, man. But great work on this one. Yeah, keep me updated with your other stuff, bro. Now we have Your Love, WAV 2 by who knows. -6 points for the bad naming of this track. I don't know who it is, so I can't even say you did a good job. So let's go for Have Your Love. I think it might be Joe Daniels, is it? Because I think I've heard this one. solid festival banger, man. I think this one's already signed on a label, so congrats to you, brother. This one it's a solid one. Yeah, I love the breakdown. This is so cool. It fits with the bass house. It could be a bass house song, could be a UK hardcore song, could be a big room song. It's such a good breakdown that always works. You know, a big Reese bass, some breakbeat drums, really ravey. By the way, this sound insane. It just reminds me of the good old times. Great old school ravey sound. Now the build-up's great. I wouldn't personally do this pre-drop. Leaving the endless smile on like that. I like to just get rid of the endless smile in the bar, the pre-drop, so you can have a big fill in there. All your fills and stuff have just been drowned out by reverb. So another way around that is just to have the reverb on only your build-up snares or only on your lead, so everything else can be clean and untouched, reverb wise. Drop hits hard. Dope kick. I would like to hear a tom here, so when it goes duh, 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 I'd like to hear it something like this, just to keep it a little bit fresh. Acid could be louder. The acid's saucy, so turn it up a little bit. I really like this part, but you've got a little bit of mud going on. So what I would do is I would take out this 808 and try and get a different one. There's some sick 808s on Splice. You know, Splice isn't great for big room kicks, but if you need an 808 sample, there's like 15 million. So I would look for some more reputable packs. Scott Storch, for example, like, you know for a fact they're going to be really good 808s. But yeah, I know this one's released and coming out, so I don't want to scrutinize it too much, because there's nothing you can do about it. But for next time, that's the things I would change. Drop 2. I would like to hear a different bass line, man. Something a little bit different. With this kind of sound, like, I want to really push creativity. So doing one drop different and a different, like, it's all about keeping this genre, big room, interesting. So random switch ups and stuff like that are always going to be what I'm going to do. Headbutt the mic there. That's what I was always going to do in mine. So I would recommend you always try and do those little, what, I don't know what the word is, unsuspecting. You know, people don't suspect this switch up. That's what we need to kind of push in the big room genre, to kind of prolong its life and make it birth a new sound and a new direction. So solid track, bro. Lilith, I like your mids. Your mids are good. I think the sidechain could be a little bit tighter because it does feel like the lead's drowning the kick out a little bit. But yeah, that's just for next time. Keep me updated with your shit as well, brother. Now we go into the final one. Again, I need a piss. This always happens right around the 45 minutes of recording the video. So we jump into Bouncer. This is Alex 2021 edit. It's not even 2021. They're already in the future. This is too crispy. For an intro, I would filter it up, and also I would duck some of the high end from it. So I'm just going to be a doctor here and just apply that. So what we're going to need is a bell. Because that's quite hard to listen to in headphones. Great drum. It's cool. I'm disappointed though, because you've got this bass line, this, I was expecting that in the drop, so the drop was going to go boom, da, 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 something like that. But you took that away from me, man. You robbed me of the pleasure of hearing that bass line. But this one is cool. I would just dip the high end off a little bit because it can be quite piercing, you know. The kick is massive, by the way. I love those shuffle hats, man. Really good. So with the kick drum, it does sound like you've added one kick drum and stuck another one on top. I think you're getting a little bit of a phaser issue there. But let me know in Discord what you did with the kick, because I'm not a psychic, can't read minds. I might just be assuming that, but it does sound like a little bit of a phasing issue going on there. Second breakdown. I love this part. I assume you've sidechained the original track with your own kick or something, but it sounds really dope, man. Oh, so this bass line, is that from the original song? Maybe it is, and you've added your own drop. Oh, it sounds better with the hi-hats, man. It sounds so much better with the hi-hats. I like it a lot with the hi-hats. It just brings that, it just got rhythm. This felt a little bit dead rhythm-wise. Got nothing really driving a different rhythm. It's just boom, boom, boom. Just like a big room kick playing alone, but this is cool, man. Even those snares, boom, boom, those things, even if you just put them in drop one, I think it would make a massive difference as well. Would be cool to hear a pluck or something. Boom, 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 just random, you know, or a cool different synth, just to make it, you know, different from the first drop as well, even more. But yeah, look at the size of that waveform. Go on, yeah, great tracks again, guys. I can't really decide between 1 and 2. There's good tracks, episode 1 and episode 2. There's good tracks in both and different sounds as well. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do this again. This was a lot of fun, but I have almost pissed myself twice. I'm going to start doing live streams as well. I'm just trying to fix my connection, just make sure I can get the fastest possible, and then we'll start live streaming, doing some demo sessions, doing some just me working in the studio because I get lonely. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and as always, I'll see you guys next week, and thanks for the support. Oh, and also, I won't see you before this, so have a good Christmas, because I think when you see this is 23rd. So have a good Christmas, and I'll see you guys next week.